In today's episode, we're going to talk about Trump coin, and the real story here is the creation of wealth that just occurred virtually out of thin air, virtually overnight. And the primary beneficiary of all this wealth, you guessed it, Donald Trump. Here is the official Trump coin. So Donald Trump launched his very own meme coin over the weekend, and as you can imagine, the price skyrocketed. It's currently trading at $61, just off a high of $75. Now, no doubt by the time some of you guys are watching this, the price will be wildly different because this is a volatile financial instrument. But at this point, that's exactly what it is, a financial instrument. People are buying and selling, scalping for a few dollars here and there. Other traders are moving in and out with bigger positions, trying to make, bigger sums of money. I saw Dave from Barstools posted yesterday that he's officially bought $500,000 worth of Trump coin. Why? Because I've got FOMO, entry price $24.80. He woke up this morning up $1 million as it peaked at 75, right? So, and I don't know if he sold or not, but anyways, he said that he bought on this exchange. And this is one of my issues with a lot of these cryptocurrencies that you might want to buy, these meme coins, is you have to buy them through some of these exchanges, which are not very well reviewed. Now, you always have to take some of these reviews with a little bit of a grain of salt because you don't know, maybe all these bad reviews were posted by, trolls or competitors even. It's hard to say for sure, but I've always been a little uncomfortable putting my money in some of these exchanges. And so for that reason, I'll tell you right now, I'm not in Trump coin. If this was something that I could trade with my broker, I'd be happy to trade it, but I can't. And my real concern, isn't that, I'd buy it at 61 and my max loss would be 55. My concern is that if I put $500,000 into that position and then something happens with the broker, what happens to that 500 grand? It's gone, right? So that's what I worry about. Now, maybe that's that's not a realistic concern, but after what we saw happen with FTX, I think it is. So nonetheless, while I'm not in this position, I'm going to break down what I see happening here. I'm going to talk about where I think the price could go, just my opinion, of course. We're going to talk about how this translates to what will likely be heightened volatility in the equities markets in the days and weeks ahead. Okay, so Trump launching the official Trump meme coin creates a unprecedented level of demand. That's as simple as it gets. In order for this to make a big move, you need a lot of demand. It's always an imbalance between supply and demand. And so what's happened here is that you've got a crazy level of demand because Donald Trump just launched this coin. It's the officially backed Trump meme coin. Unlike other meme coins out there that are based around Trump that are unofficial, this is the official fan page. You know what I mean? It's the official sanctioned Trump meme coin. So this is the one traders are jumping into. And unlike other meme coins, the thing that people always worry about is what happens when all the insiders dump. When all the insiders sell, the price is going to dump because that's usually what happens. The way these coins are typically created is they're created with a certain fixed number of coins, which is essentially the float. That's the number of coins that are available to trade, right? So in the case of Trump coin, it's 1 billion. So there's a billion coins. In the case of Bitcoin, BTC, it's 21 million. So 21 million, that's it. So I'll just show you here, just as a comparison. So the max supply of Bitcoin is 21 million coins. And current total supply is 19.81 million, which means there's still some coins left to be mined. And that's how Bitcoin works. But there is a predetermined max supply, and that cannot be changed. Now, in the case of Bitcoin, it's true that there are some large blocks of coins that were initially created that were set aside, and people don't know if at some point the person who created them is going to sell. But the other potential very real issue with Bitcoin is that those coins could have been put on a hard drive that's gotten lost. They may be gone forever. So they may be out of circulation and never in the market. So then you sort of got the difference between the total coins issued and available and then what's actually being freely traded. So in the case of Trump's coin, he created it with a total number of coins of 1 billion. That's huge. Now, how many did he set aside for himself? 80%. So 80% is Trump. So 80%. And the remaining 20% is essentially what is freely trading right now. So the price has gone up based on high level of demand for this slice of the pie. So what I'm trying to say here is that if Trump came out and decided to sell his 80% at the price that's been created by this small piece, there wouldn't be enough volume to absorb all of his shares. In fact, if you look at the volume in total dollar amount, just in the last 24 hours, it's $25 billion of value. So what is crazy here is that on paper, Trump just made $50 billion over the weekend. That's what's insane. So you've got the current market cap of 1 billion shares times a price of $60 per coin. That's a $60 billion market cap. He owns 80%. So, approximately rounding $50 billion, $48 billion overnight. There's an interesting story of someone who created a company and issued 1 billion shares. He then went on the street and asked someone if they would buy one share, if they were interested in buying one share of his company for $20. And she said, I'd love to. So she signed the paper, she bought one share, and he then had the company appraised at $20 per share because the fair market value of that one share was $20. Just like that, he became on paper worth $20 billion. But in reality, could he have actually turned that into $20 billion? Probably not, and not in a legal way. Could he have gone to a bank and gotten a loan for his shares? Probably not. But what is interesting here is the difference between value or net worth or whatever on paper and then in reality. So on paper right now, Trump increased his net worth over the weekend by $50 billion. But in reality, that only becomes actual, profit if he sells. And there's not enough liquidity or demand to absorb all of his selling. And if he tried to, what would happen is this nice ascension of price up to $75. What would happen is immediately, so this was based on, remember, this price was based on 20% of the float. So that's 200 million shares. So 200 million shares created that move. So if all of a sudden he tries to sell his 800 million shares, it's going to bring it all the way back down. 800 million shares of selling, it's going to go down to zero. They would not be able to absorb all of that selling. So that's what we know about this coin. It'll hold up as long as he doesn't sell. And so the real question is, how long will he hold? Well, let's look at Trump Media. So Trump Media, which of course he's the owner of, we can go over and just pull up the chart on this. And by the way, Trump Media is worth about, I think it's $8 billion, the market cap. So Trump Media, Truth Social, has taken years. It was created in, I think, 2021. It's taken years to get to a market cap of 8 billion. And of course, now you've got his meme coin overnight having a market cap of 60 billion. But I digress. So at any time, if he wanted to sell shares of Trump Media or Truth Social, however it's structured, Trump Media and Technology, he certainly could have. And as far as I am aware, I haven't heard of him selling shares of DJT. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, post in the comments below, and I don't follow it super closely. I have traded it and made some money on it, but I don't recall ever hearing about him actually selling shares. Even though we knew that he could, I never heard about that happening. Of course, the price on this was very volatile. The price initially went up to, it shows 100. I remember at one point we were at 175. So was that maybe an after hours or pre-market move? And then it came all the way back down to like $8, then went back up to 80, and then came back down to 15, and it's right now back at 40. So it's been very volatile, and his paper net worth has fluctuated dramatically. But he would only really sell if he either didn't believe in its future and just needed to lock up the profit and felt that he should just take the profit, or if he actually needed the cash. But if he doesn't need the cash, he can get money from other places, and I think he can, then he's probably not as inclined to sell. And of course, if he does sell and sells a significant stake, then there's all the perception that comes with that he doesn't believe in it, and there could even be legal scrutiny. So you may recall a couple months ago that Hawk coin was created. So this was the Hawk girl created this coin and I think she was the face of it, but there was, of course, a team behind the scenes that created it. And it didn't have this kind of market cap, but it made this remarkable squeeze up and then this massive drop. And we've seen that a lot. And so the concern there is, well, are the insiders going to sell? Because if they sell, then it's probably gonna drop. But if they don't sell, it can continue to hold up. So now we come back to, of course, to Trump coin, and we have this question of how long is he going to hold? Is he going to keep holding? And if I'm going to go with my gut feeling on it, my gut feeling is that he's not going to sell because it would kill the price and it would create a lot of scrutiny. And I think right now he's got a lot of momentum behind him, especially at the very beginning of his presidency. I mean, right now you have all these TikTokers who are so excited for him to come into office, hoping that he's going to, unban TikTok, right? So it's like he's got all these people rooting for him. If he rugs this and it drops, then I think that unfortunately it's just going to create, distrust. And I don't know that he's ever been, the art of the deal and this and that. Like he's ever been the most trusted business person. I mean, he's obviously savvy and has used all the loopholes and everything else. You could say what you want about him. He's created a net worth. A lot of contractors and stuff said he ripped him off. Rudy Giuliani didn't get paid, So, does he really care if, this drops? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. And, you give your 2 cents in the comments. I'm curious to hear. But nonetheless, I think that if he did sell immediately, there would be a lot of scrutiny. And that would be very similar to what happened with Hawk Coin. Now, Dave from Barstools, so he bought his position on this, and he had a question that he posted where he said something. These are like older ones, but anyways, he said, I have an honest question. What's the difference between Hawk Coin and Trump Coin? And he said, can I just create my own coin and just tell people from the beginning that I'm going to sell as soon as it goes, up more than a certain amount? And is that legal? And I think that there's a real question about what is and what is not okay with cryptocurrency. I mean, of course, there's some very clear, like, you can't do this, but this is a space that, we have seen a lot of, what do you want to call it? Shady, scammy stuff go on. I mean, we see it all the time. I can't tell you, even on this video, there's no doubt within minutes of posting this video, we will have dozens and dozens of comments that come through that are for a crypto scam. Crypto has allowed a lot of scammers to make a lot of money. And it drives me crazy because it's basically just nonstop. I deal with it on Facebook, or, I deal with it on Facebook, I deal with it on Twitter, I deal with it here on YouTube in the comments. Just every single video is blasted with it. So unfortunately, there is a lot of shady stuff that happens in the crypto markets, but then there's, coins that are going to be more legitimate and that hold their value to a certain extent. So the question here is, now we better understand the supply-demand imbalance. He's got 800 million. The shares available or coins available is 200 million. Total float is 1 billion. He could sell small pieces and it wouldn't hurt the float, hurt the price as much. But the longer he holds, the more this small piece is going to determine the market price, right? So he's creating demand by being the backer of this coin and saying, this is the official Trump coin. And, so anything else is therefore is unofficial. Although I bet if you search for Trump coin, you could probably find, look, you'll find a ton of them, right? So there's, actually that didn't search the way I wanted it to, but nonetheless, there's no doubt dozens and dozens of different Trump-related coins. And so this one's down 57%. This one's down 80%. This one's up 98%. This one's up 3%. These are all Trump-related meme coins. So the thing is, most of these, all of them, except for one, are unofficial. And, some of them are going to people will jump on them, maybe because of, spam bots on social media that say, this is, can't wait to see where this goes. And people try to trick other people to buy not the official one, but like the unofficial one. They're like, this is the one, this is the really official one. And people get confused and So none of that should be surprising. So I think the moral of the story with all of this is that you have to be really cautious with how you approach it. And for me, the way I approach this type of stuff is I'm happy to trade the volatility. I don't want to trade the backside of the move. So right now, if we had MACD on this chart, there's no question that the MACD has done a crossover. So this would be a crossover right here, and I wouldn't be trading with a negative MACD. I would wait for the MACD to curl back to the positive. So wait for it to go for the next leg up. We get the next crossover. We get a move back up over 65, over 70, and then I'd be looking for a move through the new highs. I think Dave got in somewhere in this area yesterday when it was around 24. So you had this move up, and then it was sort of coming back down. But you also have to recognize someone like him has so much money that, he's comfortable taking the risk. And, so 500,000 for him might be 5,000 for other people, or 500 or 50. And, if it goes up times 3, awesome. If he loses half of it, well, that's the flip of the coin. It's the way it goes. But no doubt, most people probably, at least early on, had more belief that this would be stronger than your typical meme coin, just based on the fact that it's actually backed by Trump. So now, how does this play into, the market on the week ahead? So 24-hour markets right now are closed. They don't open till, I guess because Monday's a market holiday, I'm not sure that the 24-hour market will open until Monday at 8 p.m. on Robinhood. So you'll have to see how some Trump or cryptocurrency stocks perform in 24-hour markets to give sort of an early indicator. Crypto, like Bitcoin in general, over the last 7 days, yes, it's obviously up. Over the last year, you could see we're right here, and there's been a lot of excitement. When did it begin moving up? Trump's election, right? So all of a sudden it starts pushing higher. He's in, and up to 100,000. So we're back over 100,000 right now. I'm sure a lot of traders are looking for it to hold 100,000 and move higher. And with Trump now in office, it might as well just round up and say he's in office, because it's going to happen tomorrow. That's good for cryptocurrency. It's good for Bitcoin. And although he was cautious around cryptocurrency in his first term, after being up $50 billion overnight virtually on this, I don't know if that would make him more cautious, but I think he's going to, I don't think so. I think it's probably going to be like, wow, this is absolutely insane. And I'm going to, this thing is amazing. By the way, so you could see over here, when I uploaded this interview with Justin, he's my trader, one of my students at Warrior Trading from Wisconsin, started with a daily goal of $5 a day. Last year made over 200,000. But look at this XA, this stuff, this is what I do. I just grab this. They just post. So let's see how many they posted. So I'm going to go and put that in there. So this is what I deal with. And I'll ban them, and unfortunately YouTube doesn't make it so you can select all of them. So you got to go through each one of these. And they're spamming a cryptocurrency, garbage coin. And so you got to go through each single one. You got to click all of them. And how many are there here? Right? And here's the thing that's just insanely obnoxious. They post all of those within, 30 seconds. They're all posted. And then I'll delete these, and they'll just do it again. And YouTube doesn't make it easy to block them. You could block them, but they just come back. They haven't figured out the solution here. So, when I first got into the markets, cryptocurrency wasn't even a thing. And so I started with equities trading. And then when cryptocurrency started to be talked about, it was always talked about in the context of the dark web, the Silk Road stuff and drugs and scams and illegal stuff. And then it kind of started to become, something people were actually buying into, but it was hard for me to separate that stigma from it. And even today, it's like, these are these scammers. You probably saw the, I'm sure you've probably seen the news about these things. This happens all the time with crypto scams. It's just unbelievable. So anyway, so we'll knock these out, but I can promise you, I'm going to upload this video, and within minutes of uploading, they'll be back. So it's just nonstop. Anyways, so, if you're going to trade this stuff, just manage your risk. Focus on trading the upside, ride those waves of momentum, and certainly do your research on which exchanges you're comfortable putting your money in. But I would say, as always, take it slow. Don't get in over your head. Trade with money you can afford to lose, especially if you're using offshore international exchanges, or you're not 100% sure that they're super, super safe. Just be cautious. Be careful. I think that's the safest thing you can do. So tomorrow I will give you my game plan for the week ahead. And we've got a short week this week, Tuesday through Friday, but we're going to try to make up for some lost time and start the week with some nice solid trades. So I'll have a watch list that I'll be uploading for you guys tomorrow. So thanks as always for tuning in. And if you found this episode interesting, I hope you hit that thumbs up, and I hope you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you here for the next upload real soon.